Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy vicslanghope, and I got another video for y'all. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how black people in America and Muslim people all over the world are very similar. One is on a micro level, and the other one is on a macro level. And I'm going to give y'all 2 points of this whole video and conversation. Before I get into it, whoever is Muslim that is tuning in, Ramadan Mubarak. And I hope, may Allah bless you and accept it from you and allow you to change certain things that you might be working on to change about yourself. Amen. So let me get into this whole video, right? I don't want to make it too long and too drawn out. So there's 2 things in particular that make black people and Muslim people very similar, right? And the first thing is that they both have fallen victims to the European man tactics of divide and conquer. Now, I'm going to give you some examples about these things, right? For example, when you think about black folks, right, you look at how they live in America. You look at how they have been disenfranchised, right? You look at all the different policies. You look at redlining. You look at Jim Crow. You look at, systematic oppression, right? The police being able to just come into their communities and kill them at will. We just recently started seeing cops get convicted for some of these crimes, but it's a long history of these type of attacks. And the main thing is divide and conquer, right? And this is one of the things that I try not to move away from, because the reason why the white man is able to do the things that they are able to do to the black folks is because a lot of times the white man, at one point in time, they outwardly was just attacking black people and doing whatever they wanted to do. But then it changed, right? It went from outwardly doing it because laws started to change and different things started to take place, to them infiltrating and using people from the black community to take down black organizations. We see this in a whole bunch of movements, right? We see this in taking down of Fred Hampton, right, and other political Panther Party members. We see this in the Malcolm X and the NOI movement, right? We see this in a whole bunch of different movements in the black community, how black people have been used as agents of the state to take down and destroy and disrupt black communities, right? So at some point there has to be some type of accountability there, but that's not really what I'm trying to dwell on right now. I'm just trying to say how they have created divide and conquer in the black community, which is why black people look at each other the way that they do, which is why they can't trust each other, and when you don't have trust, it's kind of very hard to come together and rebuild. Another thing, so now on the Muslim side, the Muslims are suffering through the same thing, right? Divide and conquer. When you really look at the Islamic world, at one point they were united. They were together, right? Under one rulership. And then the European man came in and caused disruption, divide and conquer. That's one of their best tactics that they use, right? So they came in, they tricked the Arabs from revolting against the main body, which was the Ottoman Turks, because they were in power. And once that separation happened, it caused a lot of other fragmented separations amongst the Muslim world. And once there was separation amongst the Muslim world, it was easy for them to come in and take land from the Muslim, because the Muslim world became fragmented, right? Which brings me back to my second point. And my second point of all of this, right? First is divide and conquer. And then the next thing is they killed the fight out of both of these communities. They killed the fight out of the black people, and they have killed the fight out of Muslim people. And I'll show you how. For example, in the black community, they don't even, a lot of times we don't teach people about rebellions. Some people might do it individually, but a lot of black people don't teach their children, or they don't teach people about revolution no more, right? We barely talk about the Panther Party. We barely talk about, people who were revolutionaries, right? People who fought. We barely talk about Nat Turner rebellion. We barely talk about a whole bunch of other stuff that has happened, that has taken place, where black people had to show physical resistance, right? We don't talk about those things. And on top of that, the country did a good job at demonizing these movements, right? They called the Panther Party like terrorists and the biggest threat to America. They said the same thing about Malcolm X. They said they called the NOI racist and anti-white. So they have used this rhetoric and these tactics. And then from time to time, they also come into our communities and might kill people here and there. They kill our leaders. So they have killed the fight out of black people, which is why it's so easier for us to kill each other and fight against each other instead of resisting against the person that is really causing us harm and destruction, right? So that's just one thing. So now on the Muslim side, the same things have happened. They have killed the fight out of the Muslims, right? Muslims all over the world are fighting each other. You got Saudi Arabia bombing Yemen. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on in Iraq, Syria, all over the Muslim world. Muslims are killing each other. The same way black people are killing each other in the smaller communities, ghettos in America. Muslims are doing the same thing abroad. But it's from the same disease, the same symptom, right? Muslims are quicker to kill one another than to go fight the invaders that are invading their lands and their countries. Black people are the same way. We the same way. We are more quick to draw arms on the black person that looks like you, on somebody on your community, your neighbor, might be your cousin. We're quicker to fight them and draw weapons on them and resist against them rather than resist towards the other people who cause us harm and come into our communities and violate. Same thing is going on with the Muslims. So we are suffering from very, very similar problems. And on top of that, I spoke about infiltration in the black community, and the Muslims, they do it too. When they had the war in Iraq, it was American warplanes flying off the coast of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain. These are Muslim countries. So you have, first of all, in Islam, it's already a sin for you to be a Muslim and raise another weapon at another Muslim. That's a big sin in Islam. And an even bigger sin is to help a non-Muslim kill a Muslim. It's a clear sign of kufr, disbelief. Clear sign. I'm not calling these people kuffars, but these actions are clear signs of kufr, disbelief. To aid non-Muslims to go kill other Muslims is a clear action of kufr, disbelief. I'm not a scholar, and that's the problem too, because a lot of these scholars are afraid to talk about these type of things, right? And in the Muslim community, the same things is the issue. They're not teaching, these same scholars, they don't teach about the fundamentals of fighting fi sabilillah anymore. They don't teach about resisting anymore. Because the American media has demonized the teachings of fighting fi sabilillah. They have demonized it, right? So nobody talks about jihad. Nobody talks about fighting and striving for the cause of Allah or for protecting yourself, fighting against oppression. The scholars ain't talking about that stuff today, even though it's one of the pillars of Islam. So they have used the same tactics against Muslims that they have used against black people. So we are very, very, very similar when it comes to these type of things. And we see it today, and we are still suffering from these things. And may Allah have mercy on us and rectify our hearts and rectify our affairs against the people that we are going to. Against the people that we are going against. Amen. So I wanted to say that. I just wanted to shed some light and kind of like highlight that, because the quicker we can kind of like see who the puppet master is, and it's countless people that talk about this, but the quicker we could see how they are playing the games, and we're just active participants in the black community and in the Muslim community. So yes, the white man has done a lot of things to both, but we also have to be responsible and be accountable how we are contributing to these things that are going on. When you look at the Nat Turner Revolution, it was somebody from amongst the slaves that told the white man that they was coming. This is why Harriet Tubman, she used to kill people who was thinking about going back, because they would jeopardize the whole mission. That's another part that they don't tell you about in the black community, right? They don't teach you about this type of history, right? So we have to be mindful. The Muslims is the same thing. It's traitors amongst the ranks who are just trying to get their pockets fat, who are just trying to sit in a position, and they don't want to teach the right teachings. They don't want to teach people the right things that they need to be taught in order for them to liberate themselves. So let's be mindful of that, and let's change how not to be part of agents of the state in our own destruction. Hopefully the video was beneficial. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about this. Peace.